Hello, everyone, and welcome to News About Geology. I'm your host, Ricardo Valls. Today, we're going to tackle a huge question. How do we actually see what's going on right under our feet? It sounds impossible, right? Well, we're going to dive into the amazing digital tools that let us peel back the layers of the Earth and turn invisible data into some really powerful insights. So, let's start with the big one, the challenge below our feet. How do you peer into the Earth? It's a simple question, but man, is it tough to answer. The subsurface is this whole hidden world. You've got complex geology, groundwater moving around, and sometimes you've got contamination to deal with. And believe me, things can get complicated fast. Just take a look at this model. It shows all the different ways contaminants can move around at just a single site. You've got everything from farm runoff to industrial sources to groundwater carrying things along. And the tricky part? It's all connected. Trying to wrap your head around this whole system without a good visual is, well, it's a huge, huge job. So when we're investigating a site, our mission is pretty clear. We've got to figure out what the contaminants are, we need to understand the local geology and how water moves through it, and we have to map out exactly where the problem is, both sideways and down. To get all that done, you absolutely need a clear, complete picture of what's going on down there. Guesswork just isn't an option. Okay, so how do we do it? How do we meet this challenge? Well, that's where a geologist's digital toolkit comes in. This is the modern solution. We use some seriously powerful software to turn all that complicated data into visuals we can actually understand. Let's take a look. And one of the heavy hitters in the industry, a real go-to program, is Golden Software's SURFER. It's built from the ground up to solve exactly these kinds of problems, taking a bunch of raw data points and turning them into maps that make sense. And this is what it's all about. This is the end result. What you're looking at is a color relief map of Colorado, all made in SURFER. It takes thousands of individual data points and transforms them into this clear, powerful, and honestly, beautiful story about the landscape. It really shows you what's possible. And, this isn't some niche thing. SURFER is really the software of choice for scientists and engineers all over the world. We're talking hydrologists, geologists, even archaeologists and climatologists. This quote from the user guide really says it all. SURFER's outstanding gridding and contouring capabilities have made SURFER the software of choice for working with XYZ data. That pretty much sums it up. So you're probably wondering, how does it actually do that? Well, the magic behind it all is a process called gridding. This is the absolute key to turning all those scattered points into a smooth, continuous surface. Right, so here's the big question. How do we turn a bunch of scattered data points into a continuous surface map? Think about it. You might have data from a few drill holes here, some soil samples over there. How do you connect the dots and create a full picture? Well, the answer is gridding. In a nutshell, it's a process of interpolation. The software takes all your irregularly spaced XYZ data, your coordinates and a value like an elevation or a chemical concentration, and it intelligently estimates the values for a whole new, perfectly regular grid of points. This grid, this becomes the foundation, the canvas for every single map you're going to make. And this right here shows that transformation perfectly. On the left, you've just got a worksheet. It's just numbers, raw XYZ data. But on the right, that's what happens after gridding. It becomes a contour map that actually shows you the shape and the patterns that were hiding in that data. It's literally turning a boring table into a powerful insight. Seeing this in action is the best way to learn. If you want to see some really practical examples of gridding, variograms, and how we use these tools in the real world, I'd love for you to check out my YouTube channel. You can find the link right there on the screen. Okay, so once we have that grid file, that's when the fun really starts. A whole world of possibilities opens up. So let's take a look at a gallery of some of these geological maps and see how we can visualize the unseen. First up is the classic contour map. I'm sure you've seen these. Each one of those lines connects points of equal value. That could be elevation, maybe temperature, or even the concentration of a contaminant. And the closer the lines are, the steeper the slope. Here, we've even layered it with some color to make it pop, to make it even easier to understand. But hey, why stick to 2D when you can go 3D? A 3D surface map like this one gives you a much more, a gut-level understanding of the data. You can instantly see the highs, the lows, any weird anomalies. It's such a powerful way to show a geological formation, or say the shape of a contaminant plume underground. Another really cool thing we can do is take a digital slice right through our model. We call this a profile, or a cross-section. It's like cutting a piece of cake and looking at the layers inside. It shows you the shape of the surface along any line you want, which is just absolutely essential for understanding those subsurface layers.
And the best part is, creating these is super easy in SURFER. You literally just draw a line across your map where you want the slice, hit the Add Profile tool, and bam, the software generates the whole cross-section for you instantly.
All right, so let's start to bring this all together. These visualizations, they reveal the data stories. It's so important to remember that these aren't just pretty pictures. They are the tools that turn raw numbers into the insights we need to make some really important decisions. I mean, think about it like this. On one hand, you have raw data. It's just a list of numbers, right? But on the other hand, you have a visualization, and that's a story. It's a story about geology, about contamination, about risk. These tools let us tell that story and tell it in a way that people can actually understand. And it goes way beyond just making nice-looking maps. The software has powerful analytical tools built right in. You can do things like calculate the exact volume of contaminated soil you need to dig up, or measure the surface area of a geological layer. You can even check your model's accuracy against your original data points. These are the numbers, the real-world metrics that drive decisions on actual projects. So that really brings me to the final question I want to leave you with today. What stories are hidden in your data? Whether you're a professional geologist, an engineer, or just someone who's fascinated by the Earth, think about it. What amazing things are waiting inside those numbers, just waiting to be seen? Hey, if you enjoyed this and want more geology insights or software tutorials, please do subscribe to my channel. The link is right there. It would be great to see you over there. Thanks for watching News About Geology.